Hey y'all, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome in. Today we're doing a starter home. So we are doing a 10K tiny home. We are using Nifty Knitting, Tiny Living, Eco Lifestyle, and Base Game. Kind of kept it a little small. I definitely wanted to have fun with this one, and I decided that this would be a house for Kyle Kyleson. Now, he came with Growing Together. He is a townie. You may recognize the name. He definitely will give you a call at some point and act like your best friend and ask if he can come stay with you. So why not finally give Kyle Kyleson his own home so maybe he'll stop calling you. I just had fun with this, honestly, just deciding he could have a really great little starter home. But honestly, this starter home could be for anyone. I definitely gave it kind of like a blue and orange theme, but honestly, it's not decorated a whole lot. 10K doesn't do much for you, especially when you start adding in platforms and fences and trying to make this place look cute. Debug plays a lot into this. I use debug for landscaping because I am not about to pay 20 and 30 simoleons for one plant. I ain't got time for that. If I could, I would buy extra decor. I really wanted to have fun with the exterior and play around with platforms, what it would look like to have an upstairs that's a balcony. So we're not paying for roofing. Well, you don't have to pay for a roof, but we're not paying for walls, and just kind of keep it a little open and have an extra level. First, what I did was pull out basics. I got him a bed, a couch. I even gave him a computer just as an idea of what that would look like. I ended up getting rid of the computer. You'll see me kind of play around with the funds. So I go in and change the funds to 10,000, but I did close the game out and come back to it later. And with that, things lose value. So I really go back in and try to make sure that this house stays at 10,000 simoleons. And it does. It just looks a little different. You'll see me adding money after I maybe delete an item. And it's really just to make sure that I stay at 10,000. When you go to add to the gallery, you can see your lot value. And so I do that a lot too, just to make sure I'm staying on track. This house, I believe, ends up being 8 under 10K. So right there, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot I could do with 8 simoleons. So here I'm looking, you go in and you see value and it said 8,900. So I'm able to decide, okay, I still have some money to play around with, make sure that my simoleons match up, and get in there and continue working on the house. I used cheap tile as much as I could, and it works. There's a lot of really good cheap base game items. And then for outside, I use concrete, but then I go back in and use the 0 simoleon concrete. I'm like, why didn't I think about that before, and saved myself 100 simoleons. I've been enjoying making some modern type builds lately. I would call this modern for me. I don't know what you would call it. I would call it modern. Just playing with the platforms and the different levels, it feels modern to me, at least. So I've done a couple of builds now where I've played around with roofing and platforms and just trying to live my best builder life. So I do end up getting the Murphy bed, and it is pretty expensive, but it's a couch as well as a bed, and I needed the space. I could have made the house bigger. I thought about what that would look like if I expanded the house, but I think it all kind of evens out. If I made the house bigger to give him a bedroom or a bed and a couch with a TV, all the space that takes up, it would have pretty much evened out to just spending the money on the Murphy bed, because you're still paying for a couch and you're still paying for a bed. So it's all kind of combined together. So it worked for me. And that was just kind of where I went with it. I think that other people will have done other things. Maybe you want to give them a single bed. I went with the Murphy bed. I feel like it's super pretty, and I really wanted to utilize tiny living because that's what we're doing, right? It is a tiny home. It ends up being a small home. It's in the 3rd bracket. As you see, I've placed 97 of 100 tiles. And that's including the platforms that I've placed on the outside of the house that aren't even actually room inside the house. It's just the way it works out. I was going to try as much as I could to stick to tiny living and eco lifestyle. Eco lifestyle is great. There's a lot of very inexpensive items that are just super cute. So use eco lifestyle. I wanted to use tiny living because I wanted to utilize the tiny living features. And then I go in and I add Nifty Knitting. I go in and add Nifty Knitting to the mix. If you unlock all the gameplay items, debug everything, I don't know exactly what unlocks it. I never pay attention. Usually when I go in, I like turn on all my cheats, bb.move objects, unlock hidden objects, show live edit objects, and unlock gameplay, unlocks entitlement, no entitlement gameplay. Oh my gosh, whatever that cheat is. Unlock gameplay, unlock. Oh my gosh, my brain. Seriously, this is a thing with my brain. And if I don't use the cheats all the time, then my brain's like, nah, you don't need that information. It literally like leaves my brain. I'm like, well, do I really have to look up this cheat that I've like put in a million times? And the answer is yes. Sometimes I have to look them up because my brain's just like, it just goes. So I use all those cheats. Anyways, back squirrel. I use all those cheats all together. So I'm not sure what unlocks the Nifty Knitting rugs. I want to say it's the unlock gameplays, entitlement, whatever that cheat is. And so I use those rugs. I use it in the bathroom and then I layer some in the living room. 50 plus simoleons for rugs. It like hurts my heart in this challenge. And I know that I choose to use my money elsewhere. I gave a ladder going upstairs. I didn't have to have an upstairs patio platform thing going on up there. I wanted it, so I put the money towards it. The house didn't have to be on a foundation. I wanted it. I liked the way the platform looked. So I have a staircase going up. But also, if you don't know, you can delete the underside of your staircase and get a significant amount of money back. I always forget that part, so I end up doing that later on, and it gives me like 156 simoleons. And man, what you can do with 156 simoleons when you're balling on a budget trying to make a starter home. And so there we are. We're in Nifty Knitting. We've got these cute little rugs. I go with this one at first, but it's really not the vibe for this house. So I go back in and layer the yellow rug. And oh man, I think it's the black one I layer with it. It's hard to get furniture, right? Like I'm not going to be able to put a whole lot upstairs. I do put a table and chairs upstairs, which is kind of cute. It's a little like repetitive, I guess, because he's got a table and chair inside, but I can't see your Sims like climbing up a ladder with food. Tell me if they do, because I've never seen it and I think that's kind of sounds crazy, but they can go out there and like sit and whatever. I don't know. It's just a cool little spot for them to hang, to go sit up top on the patio and chill. I originally put like a little like tanning bed, a little like, oh my gosh, what are they called? Like a, not a lawn chair, but a reclined chair patio furniture thing. Oh my gosh. Seriously, the brain is not braining. It happens. It happens to the best of us, okay? Anyways, you see Kyle there. He's just chilling because it's his house, you know. Funny story. So I accidentally killed him. And I had to go on the gallery and get another Kyle to complete this like challenge that I've made for myself to give Kyle a house. So I was trying to take screenshots and I was changing the time up and I changed the time to noon. Well, I didn't know that he was hot and he burned to death. And so he died and I got game over. So I had to get a new Kyle off the gallery so that we could finish this house and it be Kyle standing there and not some random sim. Anyways, poor Kyle. Rest in peace, Kyle number one. The house doesn't stay here. I end up moving it to Willow Creek. Kyle Kyleson's urn is just chilling. I probably, you know, it would have been really funny if I had taken his urn and made a gravestone, you know, pulled it over and put it in the back of this house. I might have to do that before you know what? Nope. It's already on the gallery. Sorry about that. It is on the gallery. EAID katxthrash if you want it for yourself. Maybe I'll have to like go in and I don't know. I don't need to do anything with his grave. It would have been funny before, but I didn't do anything with it. But I killed Kyle and got a new Kyle. So Kyle still exists in my Sims world, but he is not the original. He's a clone. Oh my gosh, it was such a shock when he died. I was just like, it just happened so fast and then he was dead. Anyways, a Kyle still gets to live in this house and that's the important thing, okay? Kyle has a home. Honestly, the decorating of this house took me forever. I am a maximalist, like through and through. I love clutter and it's not a whole lot you can do in The Sims to clutter if you don't have money. Okay, that's probably where I spend all my budget when I'm like making Sims houses is clutter. Okay, that's why they're like 80,000 simoleons. However, they don't have toilet paper here, okay? I am not spending 50 simoleons on toilet paper. There's no toothbrushes or soap dispensers. Like, it's too much money. He's got like one plant, and he's lucky he gets that shelf for 25 simoleons or 50 simoleons, because he didn't deserve it, okay? We could have put something else there. I almost gave him that picture. You saw it, the yellow one with the blue hair. He almost got that. You can't really clutter, and it's fine. It serves its purpose. It's a starter home. So if you start out with a sim, you get 20K, you'll be able to buy this house, land to put it on, and still have a lot of money to do with it what you please. It's just a nice base. So I have moved the house to a different lot in Newcrest, and the lighting was terrible, and that wasn't going to work for me having to put it on the gallery. I was like, nope, all this goes away, and we're going to move into Willow Creek momentarily. And here we are in Willow Creek. Okay, beautiful. It's got great lighting. I mean, it's coming a little at an angle, but it's not bad. Super happy with it. And so now we can get into this and landscape and get these final little details, because that's really all it is, which landscaping takes me a long time because it's debug, and I just kind of grabbed a bunch of stuff while I was in debug. It's just the best I could do, okay? It was taking too long to landscape this poor little house. I used some nice debug fencing, and because it's just too expensive, right? So debug fences, debug plants, everything else is like good to go. Nice and open, playable. You know, it's a good little house, and I'm happy with it. It's not the best thing I've ever done, but I think give me another 10K and I could really make this house beautiful and give you better appliances, because those appliances in there are not good. Not good at all. Your toilet and bathtub, they suck, okay? But balling on a budget, right? So what are you going to do? I gave you nice things where it counts. You got a decent bed, and you have a nice little wardrobe, and it's pretty, okay? It all kind of flows nicely together. You got a TV. Can you complain? You got a TV. I did try to give Kyle Kyleson a computer, but it was just too expensive, and money could go somewhere else, okay? And so here I've deleted the underside of the staircase. I'm not playing with Kyle at this current moment. I'm about to bring Kyle back, and then I'll get my funds back, but I wasn't actually buying anything at this point. I really was just kind of moving things around and trying to get landscaping, because it's a whole lot easier to landscape when you get rid of the foundation. Then you can move those plants right up next to the foundation, raise the foundation up, and the plants look great. They're right next to it and not like 10 feet away from it. And then I can go back in and add my staircase. I'd like to say this is like the end of it, but I moved the staircase over and changed it up a little bit in front, but the terrain paint's pretty much where it's going to be and what it's going to look like, just a little moved over. So if you notice, the front door is on the side. I thought that was a fun little touch. So I've gotten Kyle back, by the way. Upstairs on the little patio area, that is green concrete, 0 simoleons, really awesome, great effect, super cute. I'm just going to go up there and chill on your roof. I think Kyle Kyleson is the person who chills on his roof. I think he is. Just finishing up this landscaping, like I told you, it was kind of all over the place, but I think it works. I feel like Kyle would go into Lowe's, Home Depot, or wherever you get your plants, some nursery, and be like, let's get these, and just throw them in the lawn. I don't know. I need to be done with this. I need to go to bed. I need to stop picking on Kyle. He's a great dude. He's a good friend. You could have a really good friend in Kyle. He's really funny. I saw some things about him that I don't know, because I'm not friends with Kyle in my game. But if you add him to your household, he has a milestone where he's been crumple bottomed. I also read if you have paranormal stuff, he has a milestone where he's survived 7 nights in a haunted home. So that's kind of cool. Some Kyle lore in there. Anyways, this house is pretty much done. We're going to jump in to these screenshots, and that's when Kyle died. And then this lovely person had a Kyle, and I downloaded him real quick, and boom, Kyle is home, and there is Kyle's grave over there, his little urn. Anyways, let's look at these screenshots and pretend like I didn't kill Kyle Kyleson. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely come back for more. I'm always posting new videos. If you want this build for yourself, you can have it. My EAID is katxthrash, just like the name here on YouTube. I hope you have a great night wherever you are. Bye, y'all.